I don't know what day of the readathon it is right now, but welcome. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to be doing a video of all my favorite historical romance authors out there, and I know it might be a little bit too late now because we're in the middle of our readathon and you guys already picked out your TBRs, but hey, just because the readathon is going to end soon doesn't mean that you can't pick up these authors anytime after the readathon as well. So the first author that I really want to recommend you is my queen, or one of the queens, because I have a lot of queens now, but my queen, Tessa Dare. Now, Tessa Dare was actually introduced to me by, I feel like it was, okay, so I think the story was that I saw her books, I bought her books, never made an effort to read her books. I think I watched a Chelsea Darling Reads reading vlog where she tried historical romance, where she read a Tessa Dare novel, and she convinced me to pick up the book off my shelf and just give it a try first. And I fell in love, I loved it. And then I was like, why am I sleeping on the pile of books? So I read a couple more. And then I slept on historical romance in general, and I just never picked up another historical romance novel for the longest time. Hence why we decided to create this readathon, because we actually really needed to actually just start reading our historical romances and to have an excuse to read it. And then I started binging Tessa Dare way before the readathon started because I started panicking over my TBR. This is already a lot too much information, but Tessa Dare is a queen. She writes the best female characters ever. If you guys are worried that your historical romances are featuring a lot of girls who are damsel in distresses, who are weak, then you are coming into the right place in this video, where you're finding an author who does not write those types of characters. She writes very modern historical romance heroines because like they usually have careers set up, they usually have education, they are not inferior to the male in any way except for that she's just a girl and then society doesn't really appreciate her yet for her brains, even though the male sees that he is clearly like dumber than she is because she is so smart, she's so strong-willed, she is a fierce woman that like nobody can compete with. And she has like this whole series, I think it's like the Spindle Cove series or maybe Castles Ever After. Basically all her books includes those types of girls that are just well educated and have dreams to become someone better than what society thinks that they should be, which is like a housewife, and that's that. So one of my favorite series, I don't even know how to start with my favorite series because literally I am actually in the process of finishing all my Tessa Dare novels, and that means that I'm reading all the series, and I can't even tell you like a book that has disappointed me very badly. And I can't even tell you like my least favorite series because they're all my favorite series. Like even the books that I thought I wouldn't like, including Do You Want to Start a Scandal? I thought I wouldn't like this book, so I never bought it, but then I started listening to audiobook of it, and I think like it's going to be my favorite Tessa Dare novel. I haven't finished reading it yet by the time I started filming this video, but hopefully I don't eat my words and that I actually really think I really like it. But so far it's so good. I'm 60% in, and I think it might be my favorite. It's very fluffy, it's very cute. And obviously I started the Girl Meets Duke series last year, and I read The Governess Game and also The Duchess Deal, and I loved it. Loved it. Gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I didn't give it like 5 out of 5 stars for God knows what reason, but I just really appreciate it. And I think the one book that I didn't like from Tessa Dare was The Wallflower Wager, which was the latest book that she has ever written, and it's book 3 in the Girl Meets Duke series. This one just didn't hit me right in the right spot. Like I felt like it wasn't a true Tessa Dare novel. It included some wacky scenes and some characters and some weird plot twists, and I was just like, this is not for me. My friends Lacey and Jessica loved it, but surprise, we always tend to have differences of opinions. So hopefully it was just a one-time thing where I just didn't like this one as much. I think that Tessa Dare does a great job with humor as well. She's really funny. Like she makes like the wittiest comebacks, and she always makes the characters do like really stupid things and that end up embarrassing themselves. And it's just like, wait, I thought historical romances were supposed to be serious, but they're not, and it's great and I love it. So you guys should definitely check out Tessa Dare. And I'll start off with the series that I would recommend right now, maybe like Castles Ever After, but the most recent series is Girls Meets Dukes. So the next author that is my queen, she is my first queen because she was the one that really like solidified me into getting into historical romances, I feel like. Well, to be honest, when I first started reading historical romances, I did what everybody did, which I feel like is reading a Julia Quinn novel, and it was recommended to me by my cousin, and I read it, and I loved historical romances. And then my friend from a very long time ago recommended me to read Lisa Kleypas because she was like, okay, if you love Julia Quinn, you'll love Lisa. And I was like, okay, sure. So I read Devil in Winter and I immediately fell in love with it. Like, it gripped me. I stayed up so late reading that novel, and that's how you know that's a good historical romance novel, when you want to stay up and you want to finish the book. It wasn't like a very dark romance, but it's like a darker historical romance dealing with a character that is more damaged and reclusive. If you guys are in for characters who are kept in a place together for a very long time, then you guys would enjoy that series. So for Lisa Kleypas, I read a few here and there. So she wrote like a couple contemporary novels as well that I haven't touched yet. So the contemporary novels is the Travis's series, where like Sugar Daddy, Blue Eyed Devil, and like another title that I forgot. And then she also has like the Wallflower series that she's very well known for, I feel like. And I read Devil in Winter, and also It Happened in Autumn, I think that book is what's called. So I own a lot of her books. I do. I own majority of her books, I feel like. I think there's only like one book that I probably don't have, and I probably will finish my collection. But have I read all of them? No, I have not. I have not read all of them, but I just trust her so much with my soul that I know that she cannot fail me. And I actually recently read Suddenly You, and it's Lacey's favorite novel, but like to me, it's not my favorite. And I'll talk more about it in my wrap up, but I still appreciate it and I still enjoyed it. Lisa just does a great job at writing what she does. And she writes very complicated characters and very steamy love scenes that I have never seen before in historical romances. So please check out Lisa if you haven't already. My recommendation would start off with the Wallflower series, but then again, the Hathaway series was very popular as well, and lots of people loved Mine Till Midnight. So check that one out as well. So the next author that I want to recommend is an author that I haven't really seen lots of people talk about, but she's very popular because she wrote a lot of books in her time. I actually don't know the whereabouts of Celeste Bradley is. I don't know if she's still alive. I don't know if she's still writing. I don't know. But basically, Celeste Bradley wrote a ton of novels way back in like the 2000s, early 2000s. And she did like, she just pumped out books. Like, she has a ton. And I know this because I actually own a bunch of her books on my shelf, because after reading one book, and the book is called When She Said I Do, I was like, okay, so she's someone to watch out for. She's a queen that I have to watch out for, because she writes historical romances including adventure. It includes adventure scenes in plots where everybody's in danger and people might have to die, and they have to duel, they have to fight, and there's action. So if you guys are into romances with a lot of more spice, and you feel like that historical romances might be troubling for you because of the pacing, because it might just be too much focused on romance, and you want something a little bit more to it, then definitely check out Celeste, because she does like a good job at creating danger and making you scared and making you like on the edge of your seats, wondering who's evil and who's like really like a good character. And I really appreciate her series. So the series that I would recommend is the Worthington series, if you guys haven't checked it out already. And then I also read book number 1 of Royal 4, which is called To Wed a Scandalous Spy. Unfortunately, I read this like a very long time ago, so I kind of don't remember it, but even judging from the title, you can already tell that this one is going to be about spies, like male spies, and protecting girls and girls who are smart. So yeah, check that one out as well. So the next queen that I would recommend is Sophie Jordan. Now, Sophie Jordan is actually, she surprised me because I didn't know she like wrote this many books and so many genres, but she writes YA fiction, like YA fantasy. I did not know that. Like, it's just like, it's two worlds. I thought it was just two Sophie Jordans when I clicked on the Goodreads profile, but she actually writes YA fantasy. So there you go. If you guys want to check out her YA fantasy, she does have it. I haven't read any books by her, like any YA novels from her yet, so I can't tell you if they're good, but I have read her historical romance novels and they're perfect. They're so fluffy. Like, okay, let me tell you this, like, her writing is very easy to comprehend. So if you guys are worried about like historical romance writing as well, I don't think her writing is that hard to like understand. It has a flow to it. It's smooth. It's beautiful. Not to say like the other authors I just mentioned aren't smooth, but she does a really good job at pulling you into the story with her words. And her stories are easy in terms of plot lines. Like they're not going to be like too outrageous for you to like follow through, and like if you miss a detail here, you're not going to understand the next chapter. It's not like that, and it gives you like the things that you need in historical romances. Like it maybe gives you like a sense of danger, it gives you angst, it gives you a ton of fluff, it gives you a ton of like hot tamale scenes that like really get you. So I really do recommend her series. I think the book that really stuck with me the most, that made me that Sophie Jordan is someone that I need to start collecting, is actually The Duke Buys a Bride, and it's the first book in the Rogue Files series, and I'm actually about to finish the Rogue Files series very soon, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I think average rating for that series right now for the books that I'm giving is 3 out of 5 stars, which isn't that bad. Like I'm probably giving only 3 out of 5 stars because I probably listened through it on audiobook, and I probably missed out like a couple of scenes when I was like doing something else, and maybe that's why it impacted my scoring. But anyways, really enjoy her, and she's definitely an author that you should check out. So the final author that I want to let you guys know that you guys should check out, even though I haven't actually read any books by her, I just have, again, a collection because I'm hoarding her books, because I don't know why. I just see it and I buy it because I feel like she's just going to give me what I'm missing in my dark, cold heart, and it's Megan Frampton. Now, the reason why I started collecting Megan Frampton's books is because I was on Book Outlet, and then I saw the reviews of the books, and I saw how many reviews were saying Megan is so funny. Megan is so funny. Her historical romances are hilarious. They make me laugh, and I can't stop laughing. And I'm like, wow, me as a person who enjoys comedy in their historical romances, I gotta buy. So then that's why I started collecting the series. So the series that I do own include the Duke's Behaving Badly series, which is like a very cute name, I feel like, and I really enjoy it. So that's why I bought it. And also I own a couple books from Duke's Daughters as well. Once again, I haven't read any of the books yet, so I can't really give you a recommendation. But if you guys have read Megan's books, please let me know down in the comments below if you guys enjoyed it and which one I should start first from the books I own from her series. And let me know if she's as funny as people say she is. Like, I feel like her ratings on her books are fairly standard and pretty high, so I know I'm going to enjoy it as well. And I can't wait to dive into her books once I find the time after this readathon, maybe. So that is it for all the historical romance authors that I'm recommending to you. Let me know who your favorite historical romance authors are. Let me know who are the authors that you want me to check out, because I do have like small collections of books from different authors that are well known, especially in the Avon Books imprint. So let me know so that I could check out which books first, so that I could put them at the top of my TBR pile. But until then, I'll see you guys next time, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the historical romance readathon. Bye guys.